You need a strong core for stability, injury prevention, and functional strength. Studies show that 80% of adults experience lower back pain at some point, typically because of weak core muscles failing to support the spine. Besides, having a weak core increases your risk of falls. Exercise can reduce the risk of that happening, but I won't just run you through a laundry list of exercises. I first need you to understand what your core actually does, because then you'll be able to choose a core routine for yourself. But if you're not that interested in the science, feel free to use the timestamps below and check the exercises you're interested in. So first, I know that a lot of people think core training is just about crunches and sit-ups, but that's only one function of your core. Basically, your core flexes so you can bend forward like when tying your shoes. But your core also enables extension, the opposite movement. Extension lets you straighten your back when you stand up tall after leaning over. Just as important is your core's ability to resist excessive extension, which keeps your lower back stable when lifting heavy groceries or picking up a child. Rotation is another key core function. You're using it for actions like turning to grab something from the back seat of your car. Equally important is anti-rotation, meaning your ability to resist unwanted twisting. This protects your spine when carrying an uneven load, like a heavy shopping bag in one hand. Lateral flexion, or side bending, comes into play when you lean to the side to pick something up. For example, when you're at your desk and leaning for something on the floor. On the other hand, anti-lateral flexion prevents excessive side bending, which keeps you stable when carrying a suitcase or holding a child on one hip. A solid core routine strengthens all these functions, so everyday movements become easier and your body becomes more resilient. Basically, you need to train your core in all three planes of motion. The sagittal plane, meaning front to back, the frontal plane, meaning side to side, and the transverse plane, focused on rotational movements. Now let's jump into the 5 exercises that make sure your core is strong in every direction. The first exercise is the ab wheel rollout, because it's one of the best exercises for core strength. If I were to pick just one core exercise, it would be this one. Ab rollouts force your abs to resist arching as you extend forward, so it's much harder than regular crunches. This move works your entire core, especially the deep muscles that stabilize your spine. Your lats and shoulders also chip in to help control the motion. To do it, start on your knees with your hands gripping the wheel. Brace your core and tuck your pelvis slightly to avoid straining your lower back. Slowly roll forward, keeping your abs tight. Go as far as you can without losing control, then pull yourself back to the starting position. The key is slow, controlled movement, so don't rely on momentum. Training this movement makes a big difference in daily life. Your core has to resist extension every time you lift something heavy, push an object, or even stand for long periods. If your lower back gets sore from standing or bending, it's often because these stabilizing muscles aren't strong enough. Strengthening them protects your spine, reduces chronic back pain, and helps you move with better control. Second awesome exercise for core strength is planks and plank variations. They look simple, but hit deep core muscles that keep your torso tight and stable. A proper plank also works your shoulders, glutes, and lower back. Start by placing your forearms on the ground with elbows under your shoulders. Extend your legs behind you, keeping your body in a straight line. Engage your core and squeeze your glutes. Don't let your lower back sag or your hips rise too high. The longer you hold it with good form, the stronger your core gets. Reverse planks and side planks add more benefits. The reverse plank strengthens your lower back, glutes, and hamstrings, which is great for fixing the damage caused by sitting too much. Side planks hit your obliques, the muscles that stop you from tilting when carrying something heavy in one hand. If you struggle with that, weak obliques are usually the reason. As you can see, all these planks train your core for real-world tasks. They help you keep a good posture, carry heavy loads without straining, and move more efficiently in daily life. The third awesome core exercise is the Russian twist, which trains your obliques, deep core, and lower back to rotate with control. And be honest, rotation is something your body does all the time. You twist when reaching for something in the back seat of your car or when turning to look behind you. Strengthening this movement prevents strain on your spine and makes twisting motions smoother and safer. So to do Russian twists, sit on the floor with your knees bent and feet slightly raised. Hold a weight or just clasp your hands together. Lean back slightly and rotate side to side, keeping your core engaged and your spine straight. Another good core exercise is the Superman. This works the muscles on the opposite side of your core, meaning your lower back, glutes, and hamstrings. These muscles extend your spine and counterbalance the muscles that pull your torso forward. To do it, lie face down, extend your arms and legs, and lift them off the ground while squeezing your glutes. Hold for a few seconds, then lower with control. A strong lower back is essential. If your back hurts when standing or bending, chances are these muscles are weak. Training them improves posture, reduces back pain, and makes lifting and carrying easier. With that in mind, I'll end with crunches because they're a classic for training core flexion. Crunches mainly work the rectus abdominis, which is the front of your core. To do them, lie on your back with your knees bent and hands behind your head or clasped in front of your chest. Lift your shoulders off the ground by squeezing your abs, then lower back down with control. Bicycle crunches add extra work for the obliques. Anyway, flexion is useful in many movements. You've used it when getting out of bed, bending down to tie your shoes, sitting up from the floor, or petting your cat. Training flexion strengthens these everyday motions, making them easier and reducing strain on your back. So that's it for me. These 5 exercises work together to build a complete, functional core, but you can choose other core exercises that you like more. The point is to train for core stability, rotation, and flexion strength. Training all these movements makes daily tasks easier, protects your spine, and helps you move with power and control. Now, I want to hear from you. Tell me what core exercises you like or hate. Also, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need it. It really helps small creators like myself cajole the algorithm, so I thank you in advance for every little interaction. Now, let's move this chat to the comments.